right, this is for those of you that need a little more help with practicing how to deal with variables on both sides of our equation. So let's look here and go through our steps. Remember that you have these 5 steps. You have to do these in order. So the first thing is to get rid of my fractions and decimals, which I've done. I don't have any here. The next is to use distributive property. I don't have that going on. Next thing is to combine like terms. So let's look here. Notice I have an M here and an M here. So I need to combine these M's. How can I do that? All right, notice this is a positive M over here. So I need to add a negative M here. And that's minus 5 equals 3M. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other to keep it balanced. All I'm doing is just moving M over here so they're together. And I have to do it by doing the opposite of what's going on here with M. This is positive, so I added a negative. These cross out, leaving me a negative 5 equals, oh, what is positive 3M plus a negative M? This is like 1. Well, let's look over here and remember that if I'm adding 3 plus a negative 1, it is the same as 2m. All right, I don't have addition or subtraction going on either of these sides, so I can go straight into undoing my multiplication or division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2 because I'm wanting to get m by itself. So I have to divide by what's going on over here with m. And what I do on this side, I've got to also do over here. So that equals m equals a negative 5 halves. Got to simplify this. This equals 2 and 1/2. All right, we have to check this. So in order to check, I'm going to plug this in for everywhere I see an m in my original equation. Let's rewrite that. Okay, I'm going to use the unsimplified version just to keep it easy. Negative 5 halves minus 5 equals 3 times negative 5 halves. And I want to put a question mark because I'm checking. All right, I need to have common denominators. So this needs to be over 2. Remember, this is technically over 1. 10 halves is the same as 5 over 1. Is this equal to 3 times negative 5 over 2. All right, now let's do this. I have negative 5 plus negative 10. You gotta remember this is plus and negative. This is not subtraction. And that's over 2. Is that equal to negative 15 over 2? Well, negative 5 plus negative 10 is negative 15 over 2. That equals negative 15 over 2. This checks out, which means this answer is correct for m. All right, we're going to come over here and we're going to do the same process for this equation right here. With this equation, I also need to go through these same 5 steps. These are essential for you. The first thing is always to check whether I have fractions or decimals. Fortunately, I don't. I'm good there. The next step is to use the distributive property. Do I have any? Nope, I'm good there too. And check these off. The next is to combine like terms. So I need all of my numbers on one side of my equation, and I need my variables on the other side. Okay, so let's look up here. I have this is a variable. This is a number. This has a variable, and this has a number. So I need my variables to go on one side of my equation, and I need my numbers to go on this side of my equation. How do I do that? Well, let's look down here. In order to combine my like terms, I'm going to need to undo addition or subtraction. This is where I need to start. What is going on over here? Let's say I want to get my 5K, and I want to bring him over with my 7. Well, this is a positive 5K. So I need to add something to this side of my equation that will remove it over here and add it over here. What can I possibly add to get 5k away? Well, I add its opposite. The opposite of a positive is a negative. So I'm going to add it to this side, and I need to add it to this side. Okay, let's look at what I have now. My 5k's end up canceling out, and I get 0 plus 16. And over here, I can now combine like terms, which I was trying to do. 7 plus negative 5 is 2k. But I still have this negative 4 going on over here. I have to move this over with my 16 because they're both numbers. They're like terms. So 2k minus 4, what do I have to add to get him off of this side? I have to add its opposite. So that's plus 4. And what I add to one side, I've got to add to the other. Okay, and that equals 2k, because my negative 4 plus a positive 4 equals 0, and 0 plus 4 is 4, plus 16 is 20. This is just the same thing as 2k equals 20. Now I don't have any addition or subtraction going on. I can clear this step, and now I have to do multiplication or division. If you have any terms that are remaining, if I had numbers over here, or if I had k's over here, I could not come down and do this step yet. This is the very last thing you do. So how do I want to get k by itself over here. So in order to do that, I need to deal with the 2 that's beside it. It's multiplication, 2 times k, so I'm going to divide by 2, and I'm going to solve. K equals 10. Now remember that your worksheet requires you to check your work. So go back up to your original equation, and let's plug k in. If k equals 10, I'm going to plug it in everywhere I see a k. 7 times 10 minus 4 equals 5 times 10 plus 16. 7 times 10 is 70 minus 4, and 5 times 10 is 50 plus 16. Remember, I'm checking. You should have question marks. 66 equals 66. This is good. My solution works. Okay, let's do one with distributive property, and then I will let you go to continue working on your pages. All right, here's another problem. This time I've got more going on. I don't have fractions or decimals, but I do have distributive property, so I've got to deal with that first. So I'm going to distribute 2 through, and I get 2c minus 2 times 6 equals 9c plus 2. All right, if I rewrite and solve this, I get 2c minus 12 equals 9c plus 2. All right, I've done that. Now I need to combine like terms on both sides. All right, I have a problem here. I have c's here, and I have c's here. I have numbers here, and I have numbers here. And I need to get all of my c's over here, or here, and all of my numbers on the opposite side. So 2 is smaller than 9. Let's move 2 over here. This is positive. What can I add to this side to remove my 2c? The opposite of addition is subtraction. So 2c minus 2c, remember to bring down your minus 12, equals 9c minus 2c plus 2. Okay, these end up canceling out, and I get negative 12 equals 7c plus 2. Uh-oh, I still don't have all my terms combined. I have a number here and a number here. I have to get all of my numbers on the side without my variable. I don't want to move 12 here, because then I still have numbers and variables on the same side of my equal sign. I need my number to go on the opposite side. So I'm going to end up undoing addition by adding a -2, and I'm going to do that here too. All right, if I solve this, -2 plus -12 is -14, and that gives me 7c, and my +2 and my -2 get rid of each other. All right, I'm not done. I still need to get something where c equals. So I'm going to undo my multiplication, and c equals -2. Remember to check this by plugging this back in everywhere for c. So remember that if my c equals -2, I can put that in everywhere I have a c in my original equation. So let's do that on your own. Pause me, and then let's check it when you're done. All right, welcome back. We have, it should look something like this. All right, we're going to use distributive property here, and I get 2 times -2 minus 2 times 6 equals -18 plus 2. Solve it across. -4 plus -12 equals -16. And is it true that -4 plus -12 equals -16? Why, yes it is. This solution is correct, and it ends up satisfying my problem. Remember to do all of these steps as you continue your problems this evening. I'll see you in class tomorrow. Let me know if you have any questions.